Hi everyone, let's talk about WWE NXT from December 30th, 2025 episode, guys. This show was fun. Let's talk about it, guys. So we had Eden Page fences Moose for the North American Championship. Let's talk about it, guys. Eden Page blindsides Moose during the ring announcement before the bell sound, and he fires off right hands on him into the corner, and Moose turns Eden Page inside out with a spear, but Eden Page sends Moose crashing into the ring steps, and Moose responds by sending Eden Page shoulder crashing into the ring post, but Eden Page catches Moose with a boot where the pair returns to the ring and follows it up with a twisting grin. And then back from the break, Eden Page delivers a boot to the side of Moose's face, and Moose responds with a suplex to Eden Page and delivers an uppercut to him in the corner, then sends him crashing into the mat with a spine buster, then delivers an elbow drop to him, and then Eden Page then ascends to the middle rope, but Moose pulls him off with an ascent sit out powerbomb and goes for a pin, and Eden Page kicks out. Then Eden Page rocks Moose with a forearm strike, but Moose responds with one of his own. Then the pair go back and forth. Boom, 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 bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. But Eden Page levels Moose with a clothesline and follows it up with a cold breaker and goes for a pin, but Moose kicks out. Then Eden Page fires up strikes on Moose, but Moose sends him crashing into the corner and sits him out to the top rope, and then lands a drop kick on Eden Page, then sends him crashing out of the ring, then spears him through one of the barricades and dumps him right back in the ring, and Moose connects with another spear on Eden Page, but immediately grabs into his shoulders and pins Eden Page, and having a few seconds to recover, then Eden Page gets his foot on the bottom rope to break the fall. Then Eden Page sends Moose crashing into the steel steps with a back body drop. When the action spills back out of the ring, he dumps Moose back inside and lands a splash on him and goes for a pin, but Moose kicks out, and Eden Page catches him with a twisting grunt for the win, and Eden Page retains the North American title. Then we kick off with the first of the NXT awards, where Devon Evans is named as the Man Superstar of the Year. We then head over to a conversation between the Cooling, where Sean Spears and Nico Fence tried talking to Easy Dame out of going after Tatum Paisley, and Easy Dame listened and made her way to the ring. Then back from the break, we see Winston Clear checking on Kendall Gray, who has been attacked, and then we hear from Easy Dame, guys, and Easy Dame says she's never shouldn't taken Tatum Paisley potential and tried turning it into something more, and she says Tatum Paisley went back to playing with her dolls into her fantasy land one day after things didn't go her way. Then she said if Tatum Paisley looks in the mirror, she looks the reason for all her problems, and she says she had to be the bad guy and break Tatum Paisley's heart. I'll say again. She said she had to be the bad guy and break Tatum Paisley's heart, and she's the one who took out Tatum Paisley. Tatum Paisley still still went after Sean Spears and Nico Fence, and she says Tatum Paisley is doing nothing more than proving her point. Then she will never the feel. I'll say it again. Then she says she will never the feeling, but Tatum Paisley core, and she says she's not scared of Tatum Paisley's mind games, and she saved her from that place, but put her back there the second Tatum Paisley refused to involve. Then Tatum Paisley's music hits, and she makes her way out, and she says she did listen to Easy Dame and cared about her. Then says she saw and felt everything, and she apologized about Easy Dame ensuring. And then she says Easy Dame has lost sight of who she is and feels like she needs power to control others. And she says she knows Easy Dame is no. Also again, she says Easy Dame is too scared. She's too scared to look in the mirror herself. And then she's realized she doesn't need friends like Easy Dame. She just says she needs friends who have been with her from the start, like the fans have been. And then says, Easy Dame got her at NXT Deadline. She's here to end things for her. Then Easy Dame says Tatum Paisley hasn't been listening to her because Easy Dame says Tatum Paisley isn't been listening to her because Tatum Paisley has, and she would still be NXT Women's Champion. She gave Tatum Paisley the floor to make her next move, and Tatum Paisley says the bug eating her mind in the dirt will see the memory what she did to Easy Dame at NXT New Year's Evil, and she says it will be just her and Easy Dame, whether than Sean Spears or Nickel Fence or her dolls, and Easy Dame accepts Tatum Paisley's challenge, and Easy Dame says play time will be over for Tatum Paisley and stuff, and it looks to leave, but Tatum Paisley says I'll say it again. Tatum Paisley says Easy Dame isn't in control and things wouldn't be over till she said so. And Easy Dame then looks to land a big boot on Tatum Paisley from behind, but Tatum Paisley ducks out of the way and connects with the cycle strap on Easy Dame, and that's what happened. And then we head back over to the NXT Awards where Sol Ruka and Saya are named as the Tag Team of the Year. Then we had JC Jane fences Wentz Sinclair. This was a fun match, guys, and stuff, with their people, JC Jane with, Final Influence and Wentz Sinclair with Kendall Gray. Let's talk about it, guys. So the bell rings and the two lock up, and JC Jane sends Wentz Sinclair crashing into the corner of the ring, and then jams her boot into Wentz Sinclair's face and goes for a pin, and Wentz Sinclair kicks out, and JC Jane lands a boot onto the side of her head, and Sinclair delivers a single leg cold breaker to JC Jane's left arm, and then continues working it down in an uppercut her arm, and then JC Jane So we're back, guys. So we're back. I'm gonna tell you guys that I'm sorry, I got distracted right there because somebody was calling me. But we're back. So Sinclair delivers a single leg cold breaker to JC Jane's left arm, then continues wearing it down and uppercuts to her arm, and JC Jane tries blocking Wentz Sinclair from charging her arm, but Wentz Sinclair overpowered her and sends her arm bouncing off the mat, and Wentz Sinclair then runs over JC Jane with a shoulder tackle and follows it up with a Nub Bulldog, but JC Jane tuggles up Sinclair and crashing into the ropes with a super kick and capitalized her into the bottom rope after Fallen Haley and Linson Reed caused a distraction back from the break, and JC Jane hits a neck breaker on Wentz Sinclair and looks to capitalize her into the bottom rope onto the other side of the ring, and Sinclair flints off JC Jane and sends her crashing into the ropes, and then rocks her with a forearm and follows it up with a suplex, and then JC Jane then catches Wentz Sinclair with a jumping knee strike and goes for the pin, but Wentz Sinclair kicks out, then Wentz Sinclair straps JC Jane in a shoulder submission hold, but JC Jane escapes and runs over Wentz Sinclair with the rolling in core for the win, and that's what happened, guys, and that's how JC Jane defeated Wentz Sinclair, guys. Then after the match, Final Influence beats down Wentz Sinclair in the ring by firing up stomps on her, and Kendall Gray runs down to the ring and lands forearms on Fallen Haley and Reed, and then she lands a I'll say it again, a duplex, I say it again. She lands a duplex on Reed and sends an armbar on JC Jane, and then JC Jane taps out, and Gray releases the hold and grabs the NXT Women's Championship belt and holds it up. Then we had Joe Henry hold a New Year's Evil. Oh, let's say it again. Repeat it again, guys. Talk too fast. Joe Henry holds a New Year's Eve concert. I'll say it again. Joe Henry holds a New Year's Eve concert, and Joe Henry says 2025 has been an amazing year for NXT and himself between winning the TNA Championship and appearing in the 2025 Royal Rumble and facing Randy Orton at WrestleMania 41. And he says he also joined NXT, then says he'll create a song to sense the great year he had, and Joe Henry performs his song for the fans at home, and in which he touches on his great year, and Eden Page and Chelsea Green viewers joining CW to watch NXT, and Trick Williams and Ricky Saints and State and Rick's Dark State. Also against Dark State music hits and or chorus Griffs and Cutter James and Dion Lexon and Desquan Sirs appear and they slide into the ring and rain down right hands and stomp on Joe Henry. Then we head backstage where Eva Rain finds Blake Monroe in her office and Eva Rain has a heart-to-heart with Blake Monroe and gives her some advice about winning back the Women's North American Championship. Then back at ringside, Devon Heights makes his way to the ring and Lexus King falls. And we had Devon Heights versus Lexus King in the final match for the WWE Speed Championship #1 contender tournament. And this match, was, but let's talk about it anyways. The bell ring as the 3 minutes limit begins, and Devon Heights delivers a belly-to-belly suplex to King, and he pins him for the win, and that's how Devon Heights defeated Lexus King. Then after the match, Chester Troy appears on the entrance ramp with his WWE Speed Championship in hand and stares down Devon Heights in the ring. Then we head back over to the NXT Awards where the NXT Stand and Deliver NXT Champion Triple Threat match between Oba Femi and Trick Williams and Devon Evans is the name of the match of the year. Then back at ringside, Fences projects make their way out and OTM falls. We had OTM Fences, Fincely projects, and this match was fun for what it was, and OTM picked up the win. Let's talk about it, guys. So Brad Brisler and Price begin the action, and the bell rings, and Baylor lands a kick on the side of Price tights, and Ricky Smoke tags in, but Price whips him into the corner of the ring and sends Briller crashing into Smoke, then delivers a chop to Smoke's chest. Then Bronco tags in, and also again Bronco tags in, but Smoke lands an open palm strike on him, and Bronco whips Smoke into the corner and lands a splash on him, and then sends Smoke crashing into the mat face first, and Bayer tags in and sends Bronco crashing into the mat. Then Bronco pulls, I'll say it again, Bronco pulls Jackson Drake into the ring, then gets Baylor Baylor up on one shoulder, and Smoke comes to Baylor aid and lands a chomp block on Bronco as Drake distracts the ref, and Baylor then looks to sense a submission on Bronco and follows it up with a splash and pins Bronco, but Bronco kicks out. Then Baylor rains down hammers and elbows on Bronco, but Bronco sends Baylor crashing into the mat and tags in Price, but Price runs over Smoke with a series of clotheslines and lands alternately clothesline on Smoke and Baylor, and he takes out an interference and Drake with a chokeslam and lands a since Alabama slam on Smoke with Bronco for the win, and OTM picks up the win, and they picked up the win, and that's how they won. And I'll repeat it again, guys. They land a since Alabama slam on Smoke with Bronco for the win, and that's how OTM defeated, that team, the Vincent Projects with, Jackson Drake. I love Jackson Drake. Jackson Drake is a good wrestler. Really good. Jackson Drake. We then head back over to the NXT Awards where Soruka is named as the Female Superstar of the Year. Then back at ringside, Devon Evans makes his way to the ring and Ricky Saints follows, and we have Ricky Saints fences Devon Evans, and this was the main event, guys. Let's talk about it, guys. So Evans goes straight after Ricky Saints, and the bell rings, and Saints fires up stomps on Devon Evans and delivers a chop to him, then rocks Devon Evans with a back elbow, and Devon Evans responds with a suplex to Ricky Saints and rocks him with a kick to his face. Then Devon Evans fires up right hands on Ricky Saints, but Ricky Saints levels Devon Evans with a right hand of his own and dumps him out of the ring, and Ricky Saints then sends Devon Evans crashing through one of the barricades face first and sends his face bouncing off the announce desk repeatedly before he dumps Devon Evans back in the ring. Then Devon Evans sends Ricky Saints crashing back out of the ring with a right hand and delivers a splash over the top rope and levels him, but Devon Evans sends Ricky Saints crash into another one of the barricades and delivers the I'll repeat it again, guys. The Devon Evans sends Ricky Saints crashing out of the ring with a right hand and delivers a splash over the top rope and levels him, but Devon Evans sends Ricky Saints crashing into another one of the barricades and returns the favor. When he sends Ricky Saints crashing into the announce desk face first, he rains down right hands and left hands on Ricky Saints, then dumps him right into the ring and connects with a clothesline on him off the top rope and goes for a pin, but Ricky Saints kicks out back from the break and Ricky Saints clinches in front, face first lock on Devon Evans, and Devon Evans levels Ricky Saints with a back elbow and since a kick, I'll say again, a caressic kick, then goes for a pin, but Ricky Saints kicks out and Evans then rocks Saints with a kick to his face and spikes him with a tornado DDT off the rope, then lands a kick on him and goes for a pin. Then Ricky Saints kicks out before he lands a sit-out powerbomb on Devon Evans. Then Devon Evans flies out of the ring and with a dive and sends himself and Ricky Saints crashing over the announce desk, then dumps him back in the ring and lands a frog splash on him, then goes for a pin, but Ricky Saints kicks out and Ricky Saints then spikes Devon Evans with a tornado DDT of his own off the ropes, then sets up for the Razor's Edge, and then Devon Evans escapes and catches Ricky Saints with a cutter, then looks to deliver the OG cutter on Ricky Saints. Then Ricky Saints pulls the ref in front of him, and then Devon Evans accidentally lands the OG cutter on him, and then the ref is still down, and Ricky Saints low blows Devon Evans, and then a second ref slides into the ring, and Ricky Saints lands a Rockamole on Devon Evans for the win, and that's how Ricky Saints won with the Rockamole for the win, guys, and that's how Ricky Saints defeated Devon Evans. And I gave this show an 8 out of 10. It was a very good show. This was a very good show. This was better than the other show, a little bit more better. It was a little bit more better than that New Year's Evil. But that's just my opinion, guys. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit those notification bells as always, guys. You know what I'm saying? And I forgot I didn't push that while I was live. But anyways, guys, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit those notification bells as always, guys. And this is CJD 2006. And peace out and take care and much love.